believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up. So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high-quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music.
I feel the need for speed.
Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man Andy Gillard here. Hope everybody's keeping well in the world right now.
All right. Andy now knows who Sam Fender is, by the way, everyone. So there we are. Everything's okay.
Quite likes it.
Told you.
Likes it.
It's good. Yeah, hello.
I still don't know who Sam Fender is. He wears a Newcastle shirt, apparently. Was that him?
No.
Not actually him, no. That was a tribute act.
Right, okay. We're doing tribute acts for these people now. Right, okay, cool. Sure. Hi.
I can second that. I don't know if Sam Fender's a man or a woman. So,
Well, we watched Scam Fender.
Yeah, it was Friday night in a warehouse in Wolverhampton watching a 50-year-old bloke pretending to be the Kaiser Chiefs, Liam Gallagher, and somebody else. Who was the other one he tried to be? Kasabian.
Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, so it was it was Indie Palooza, and it was basically this 8-piece band or 7-piece band, and they would go off like the Kaiser Chiefs, Kaiser Cheats, I think they were called. Yeah. They went off. Then the next one came on, and it's mostly the same band members, but the front man was different. And then Kasabian came on, and it was most of the same band members, but the front man was the fella from the Kaiser Chiefs, and they just kept swapping it. And it was kind of ingenious. And it was a good fun night. I did enjoy myself until my knee decided I've got to give up the ghost because I was just in fucking agony.
When Killers, the Killers, who were really good actually. When they came,
to be fair, if it was a good band, if it was a band that I liked headlining it, I'd have probably powered through. But I don't like the Killers. I was in agony. I was like, I need to sit down for a little bit.
He was drinking water at that point as well.
Yeah, I was just in so much fucking pain. I was like, yeah, I need to have a rest. Getting old now, that's the problem.
They are on tour though, so if they are around, it's not billed like that. It's billed as 5 to 6 individual cover bands doing a festival, which it still kind of is, but it doesn't say it's the same people. It was, I don't know, genius. Some were better than the other. Some acts were better than others. I think the Oasis one was pretty shit, really, but in terms of closeness, but it was vibes, or it was just a good laugh.
Yeah, it was good fun. And everybody seemed to be in a good mood, which I think always helps with those kind of things. You've got to kind of buy into the delusion, which as a wrestling fan, Ash, I'm sure you're well aware of.
Yeah. The Killers, that's Mr. Brightside, isn't it?
They ended with Mr. Brightside, of course.
Right, okay, cool. That's my level of knowledge, yeah, unless you're bewitched.
C'est la vie.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Gents, so originally I was going to do transatlantic translations, talk about some stuff that was in the US and the UK, but then somehow I got to thinking about the fact that it's 25 years since 2001, and I thought we could have a look back at that year, just sort of see what was going on summertime that year. So, Your main man was 18 years old back then. Hair was big and wild. The beard was settling in. I was working at JJB Sports, which I don't think even exists anymore. I was contemplating a future in the police force, even though my knees were fucked and I hate the police. But didn't matter. There was no responsibilities. There was no worries. Thursday night at JB's in Dudley. Friday night down the waterfront. Saturday night at Blast Off in Wolverhampton. The world was still whole. We got to see Britney Spears dancing with a python that summer. George Lucas announced the next part of his new trilogy, Attack on the Clones. And in New York City on September 11th, Jay-Z released The Blueprint. # never forget. Stu, what were you doing in the summer of 2001?
I don't know. I think it was probably the same as all the rest of the time.
Home, away, and yeah.
Shoveling coal.
No, not then. No, I wasn't.
Delivering pop.
DJing.
I never did the Corona Man. We used to get Corona Man. He used to come in on a Thursday with his dandelion and burdock and cream soda. Class. Never worked on the pop lorry though. Now, well, I would have been 17. So in between AS and A2, I think it was at the time when it changed. Because you were the last A level, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were the guinea pigs once more in the change of over the thing. So it was all a free for all that year. So we kind of ended in it, and I think it was just a case of didn't have a part-time job, so just pissed about all summer. Because we got a bursary to stay on at sixth form. It was like 30 quid a week.
It's a fucking winner. That it's like at that age, that's what you want. That's what you need.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, and that's how I afforded to go away games. Because it was like, well, it's not going to get spent on sensible things, is it? So there we are. But yeah, I think it was just a case of just playing football with your mates, going to the cinema, go out on a Friday night because we could obviously get served because we've been doing it for years, and yeah, it was playing games at home. It was like no responsibility central. It's class.
Ed, I feel like you're a bit of an older soul. I imagine that you were, 36 hours a week in an office. What were you doing?
No, I was 16. So I had a job at Matalan.
I don't think you were ever 16, Ed, if I'm honest.
I don't think I probably was. I had a job at Matalan on Fridays and Saturdays. I was in between high school and Stourbridge College. And Friday nights we used to go to the Wetherspoons in Blackheath. And my mate Mark, who was 6'5" when we were in year 7, used to be the only one that could get served. So we would sit outside in rain, snow, sun. He would go in, get everyone's pint of Stella or Foster's, depending on how much money we had. And we'd drink like that. Then I got my job at Matalan, and then it was college.
Great days.
That's the Britannia you're talking about. We're a place. Massive beer garden there and all.
Yep, huge beer garden, and everyone I went to school with probably still drinks in there.
That used to be my Friday job, going over there for a while. I went to Blackheath to do the weeding in that beer garden.
We'd have probably crossed paths then, Stuart.
Yeah.
Because we were only ever in the beer garden until all of us managed to get a provisional license. My mate Mark, who's like I say is still absolutely huge, was the only one that ever got served.
Incredible. But yeah, I don't even know if I've been to this one. I'm just looking at the images now.
It's all right,
Yeah, really tall, like chandelier, like lighting and stuff.
Yeah,
it looks quite posh. Like even more so when you think of it being in. Well, it's got Rowley area here more so than Blackheath, but yeah,
it's the same difference. If you want to sound posh, you say it from Rowley. If you want to actually tell the truth, you're from Blackheath. But then by the time we sort of get to late summer, I was doing even more shifts at Matalan and being really sensible and saving my money for uni. So I probably was.
That's old. The edge that we know.
Yeah, there you go. But I did fall for the year I was at Matalan. On my induction, some bloke told me it was named after a bloke called Matt and a bloke called Alan, and I believed them for the whole year. To the point where I was telling other people, "Do you know where he gets his name from?"
Incredible. Ash,
gullible.
What was 2001 like for you?
Do we really want to play this game?
It's about 6.
I would have been 11, living in Northern Ireland, not being allowed to have friends come over to play or stay over because they could have been terrorists.
It's the same in Blackheath, mate. If it's any consolation,
having to stay late every Friday because the IRA were putting bomb threats on our bus back from school back to the army camp. That's how the fun life.
Incredible. So summer 2001, the box office looked not massively different. The big winner of the summer was Shrek, Pearl Harbor, The Mummy Returns, Jurassic Park 3, Planet of the Apes, the terrible Tim Burton one, Rush Hour 2, American Pie 2, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Fast and the Furious, and Dr. Little 2. That was the summer slate. Those are the 10 biggest films of the summer. They made up half of the full year in the end. The other films for the rest of the year would have been Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Lord of the Rings and the Fellowship was the second biggest, which kind of surprised me. I expected that to be bigger than Potter. Monsters, Inc., Ocean's 11, and Hannibal are the other 5 other big films of the year, but we are just looking at the summer. So this is the first summer that would be properly post-90s. Because really, if you think about the summer 2000, those films would have been made the previous year. So that's like the remnants of the 90s. This is the first 2000s proper, trying to find its feet in what the 2000s are actually going to look like. And of course, it is the pre-9/11 cultural tone here. So everything's like brighter and louder and goofy and maximalist. Next week, I want to look at 2002 just to see if the tone shifts whatsoever. Like, I haven't even started looking at it yet, so I'm kind of intrigued to see how it goes. But things are like, it's a bit of a hangover from the 90s. It's a little bit more grown up, but I still feel like it's still kind of Charlotte Hornets vest tops and day-glow socks. Those kind of things are still almost hanging around here. The franchise is very much starting in earnest at this point. Fast and Furious, Tomb Raider, Planet of the Apes, they've all gone on. Shrek is coming back very soon. The Mummy 4, I think it's going to, or maybe it's going to be 3, I'm not sure what they're going to call it, but Brendan Fraser's coming back with another Mummy film. This is the very early days of where we are now, and that's why I said, like, it doesn't look massively different, because we've seen these kind of films in the charts within the last few years. I've got the numbers written down somewhere, so I'll get into that in a bit, but like I say, not massively different. Early days of CGI, it's ambitious, it's not always particularly graceful, and we'll probably get onto that when we get to Cruise, because we'll be talking about Minority Report in the final part of the podcast. And of course, we've got the DVD exploding really at this point. I think this is when it moved from being kind of a bit niche, like people were still buying VHSs probably from 99, 2000, but 2001, the VHS was gone. It was all about DVDs at this point. So I think that's kind of where we've gone. Stu, what's your earliest memory of 2001 cinema?
So you said 2001. I mean, the DVD thing makes sense because the PS2 came out the October before.
Yeah.
And that was everyone's first DVD player for the most part. Unless you're like, you had parents who were like massive gadget people, like my mate Harper. His dad was like he had like a weather vane thing next door, so he could catch the weather. But he had all his surround sound stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, DVDs were definitely. We said about Deep Blue Sea last week as well, and things like that. And he definitely was. And Planet of the Apes on the DVD box set cost about £80 back then. Mm-hmm. The good ones, not the one from this year. But now the first film that came to mind, because I remember it very clearly, was Evolution. And how much I loved that film. And I had it on, the kind of psychedelic, shiny blue sleeve cover for the DVD with the yellow face on with the 3 eyes. That was I was looking for it earlier. It must be in the loft, but I haven't seen it for years. So I'm guessing that the alien ass is going to be not going to be the best looking thing now. But
I suspect not. I'm kind of intrigued to see how it is, because it was a film that I liked as well at the time, but probably haven't seen for the best part of 20 years now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to have aged badly, I'd have thought.
Same. I don't think I've seen it. So when the PS3 came out in, 2006, I got one in 8. Yeah, so probably nearly about 20 years as well, because I ain't watched the DVD other than the Heartbeat Rowan years since back then, because it's all Blu-ray, it's better.
Mental. Ash, what about yourself? Like, 11-year-old, you're probably not even allowed out to the cinema, I'm guessing, at this point.
He wasn't allowed out to school, apparently.
There was one film that I really, really wanted to watch, and because it's only because it had Rowan Atkinson in, and it's Rat Race.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's literally the only reason was because it was Blackadder and Mr. Bean, and that was the one film that my mum and dad were like, fine, and then they argued between themselves who's going to go and sit in that film and sit through it with me.
It's fun.
It is fun. I maintain it's not a bad film.
He's looking
I've got no
confused.
recollection of it. I have seen it, but again, we are talking 25 years ago. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
It's basically like wacky races, wasn't it? And Cannonball Run.
Okay,
Cannonball Run, yeah.
fair. Ed, what about yourself? Summer 2001. Any cinema trips in memory?
Yeah, so of the list that you sent, I remember watching American Pie 2. But my favourite on that list, and it's still a guilty pleasure, is The Mummy Returns. I absolutely love that film. And there are thoughts about Rachel Weisz that I still live with me from that film, where she's fighting the other girl in Next to Nothing. I couldn't believe that you're allowed to watch that as like a under 18. It was incredible, and I still love that film today. And that was my favourite film on there. But American Pie 2, I remember there was at least 15 of us, all just horny boys, going to watch that, and just don't think we spoke throughout the whole movie, just waiting for girls to kiss. 'Cause that's what it was all about back then. We were still in the 90s mentality, like you said, Andy. I think that would not fly now, and probably rightly so. But back then, it was the best thing we'd ever seen.
When you're 90s, when you're the 90s, the 90s doesn't leave you unless you let it.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
stay
that's
there.
very true. American Pie 2 is like probably my most vivid memory of that summer as well. I remember being at work in the day and we decided we were going to go and see that. So it was a case of the two lads who drove from work dropped everyone off at their house to get changed and then get straight back in the car. Then all went to Merry Hill to watch it at the
so that's where we
UCA
watched
cinema.
it. That's where we watched it.
So we had two cars full of like about 6 or 7 people just crammed in there, all went to then go and see the film. And yeah, that's my memory. It might even be my favourite film of the bunch. Like, it's not the best film, but like the soundtrack's killer. I remember laughing a lot. And even on a rewatch not that long ago, like maybe 5 years ago, the original trilogy was okay. Like the third one's not brilliant, but 1 is iconic, 2 is still a lot of fun, and 3 is all right. So yeah, I really like the American Pie films. I was kind of surprised to see that they made one in 2020. It's one of the spin-off, because eventually it became like National Lampoons, didn't it? They just did films in the world of.
And
But yeah, that was still going after
Reunion was
2020.
The only person that was in it was Jim's dad, wasn't it? I think he was in all of them, wasn't he? Eugene,
believe
what's
so.
his face?
They did do Reunion, which
Reunion was good.
Reunion was all
Reunion
right.
was good.
I think that was better than
2012
3.
that was. I thought it was more recent than 2012, but yeah, it was 2012 that one was. I can't remember a lot about that one, but like the original ones I did quite like.
I mean, The Mummy Returns also had The Rock in it, and I was out of my wrestling phase by that point, but The Rock was still formative.
I mean,
Well,
it's
I
a
was
version
getting
of.
into it. Yeah,
It's
like I mentioned the formative years of CG, and like this is often held up as the worst CG that you will see, of the so-called modern era. It looks atrocious when you watch it. It looked bad at the time, which is how bad it was. So now it's even worse.
I mean, there is the caveat though, whether that they kind of fucked it up because they did it on Corridor Crew a couple of years ago. They tried to redo it themselves with modern tech that they had to see if they could make it better, and they did. But there was the whole story of that they had a model made that was going to be scanned in, and instead of being a bigature to be scanned in, it turned up and it was like hand-sized. So when they scanned it in, it was just had no detail on it. It was just shit. So that's why it looks so plasticky and fake. And then they had to rush it through. And obviously, you rush CG, we all know from the last 3-4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely appalling. I never knew that story, but that does make a lot of sense now when you look at how sort of flat it looks.
Yeah.
Like it does look... Like, do you remember original 3D where it was just polygons and it was just fucking flat triangle? It looked like that. That's exactly what it was. It was so bad.
Yeah, well, you compare it to the. Well, I know it's not the same summer, but Fellowship of the Ring using the same technique, doing it properly.
Yeah.
Immaculate.
I haven't watched those films for a long time. Do they still hold up CG wise?
I watched Return of the King on Friday. Yet again, forgot it was 4 hours long. The extended edition.
I was going to say, who has that on a Friday?
I'll put it on like 6:30. So I was sound. But because I watched them all, like I said before, I watched them in Hobbit first and then original trilogy after, just to see, and it did make them better. They're still not good, but it made them better. But Return of the King is better than the Odyssey, like, hands down, absolute hands down. But it does look on a par as well, amazingly. 20 odd years later, I thought there's going to be a bit of dodge here and there, and like the Legolas like sliding down the trunk, which was bad at the time.
Yeah.
But on the whole, considering how old it is now, it looks really good. And especially since it wasn't made for much money out in New Zealand with Weta, who hadn't done anything then. Quite miraculous, really.
So the 5 big films that sort of defined summer 2001: Shrek, Jurassic Park, Mummy Returns, Fast and the Furious, Planet of the Apes, Tim Burton. I think so. Like Mummy Returns, Ed, obviously, you said like that's a fan of yours. I feel like cinema after this point, we kind of lost that pulp adventure somewhat. And even though I wasn't a massive fan of the original Mummy or the sequel, I'm kind of happy that it's coming back and we're going to get that sort of disposable, as I say, pulpy kind of action. It feels like that's been a bit of a gap in the market over the last 25 years to me.
I think the only one liken to it, and he's our Lord and Saviour on this podcast, but of course is the National Treasures. And then the Uncharted, whether or not that was any good with Tom Holland. But, that's it really, isn't it? That's all we've had since then.
Well,
whether you like it or not, Jumanji.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, the new Jumanjis.
Yeah.
I don't mind them. There's another one coming out, isn't there? I don't mind them. Yeah.
And even though they're bad, and like that video about streaming films, streaming blockbusters is right, they have filled that gap because they wouldn't be made unreleased now. Like someone again, like Wrecking Crew, everyone should watch Wrecking Crew. It's like the spiritual successor to all this shit. But the adventure film, like there was one that he mentioned in that video that I'd never heard of on Apple, and I've yet again forgot its name. Apparently it was made for over like 180 million, and no one's heard of it because it was an Apple original that they didn't release. Let's see if I
mean, considering they have an Oscar, they are absolute dog shit at promoting their work.
Fountain of Youth from Guy Ritchie, John Krasinski, Natalie Portman.
Oh, I watched that.
Donald Gleeson.
I mean, if Natalie Portman's in it, I'll at least give it a cursory glance.
It looked great, in a bad way, but it looked really entertaining. I thought, I've never even heard of this.
180 million on something like that is mental as well, though. Like, I mean, that's why the studios are in the issue they're in now. You've got to have massive hits for pretty much everything. Because spending nearly 200 million on a film that's going to streaming that no fucker's heard of, yeah, that's not a good investment. Ash, I feel like Shrek is probably something that you have a bit of a soft spot for, and that was the big winner of the summer. That was the one that sort of dominated. It was the moment that DreamWorks became a genuine rival to Disney, I think, and it was the birth of this style of animation. Like it started earnestly with Pixar and stuff, but I feel that by the time that DreamWorks came in, they really cemented it as proper rivals to it, with this element of adult humour disguised around like a child's animation. I think they did such a good job of blending that too. Is Shrek the most influential film of summer 2001?
Potentially. I mean, it's kept a roof over fucking Smash Mouth heads for 25 years, and somehow kept Eddie Murphy fucking going as well. Because anything else he touches turns to shit. But when you think of those sort of films, because they never really, nothing else really touched that sort of, we're going to make that adult joke until this came along. it's one of those ones that cross both generations, and it like Lion King and sort of things like that. Like everyone sort of loves, but this was the first one that really sort of hit both markets, and obviously it showed in the box office.
Ed, obviously your lad's 10?
11.
11.
Going to high school.
How does Shrek fit in with... I mean, I know your lad is one of one from what you've told us. Does Shrek fit in at all with that age bracket? Like, 25 years later, is this something at all that they'd be interested in?
Yeah, he doesn't actually. Shrek's one of the ones he doesn't mind because of that. It's cleverer than Disney doing a Grimm's fairy tale. That's what I remember about Shrek. And I think Ash has already pointed out how much younger he is than all of us. But like as an 11-year-old, he could enjoy it. But as a 16 to 18-year-old, we also could then enjoy the poking fun at fairy tales and Disney, but also some of the adult jokes that were in there as well. I think it was. I don't remember a film doing anything like that before then.
No.
I don't. And but yeah, it still punches through now. Shrek's on the rotation of things that if he's not very well, he will watch, just because it's there. And yeah, it's better for having as little Eddie Murphy as possible, and thankfully he doesn't play 17 characters in it.
Yeah, definitely.
You can still go to London and go to the Shrek adventure, like a Shrek experience. Like that's how much it's held up. It's next door to the Paddington experience.
I'm intrigued to see how it's going to look next summer, because it's either going to be a flop and will make 200 million, or it's going to hit $1 billion. I don't think it'll be anything in between. I think it's either going to be a smash or just a complete flop.
People will turn up for it.
I suspect so, and I kind of hope so, because I do think you're going to get people of our age who were there then. But from what you're saying about the kids as well, if they still have eyes on the original, why wouldn't they want to be there for the next iteration, regardless of how bad Shrek's 3 and 4 was it? I think.
I didn't even know they'd done a 4.
I think so. I can't remember if this is the 5th one, or maybe this is the 4th one.
But you got the Puss in Boots films.
Yeah,
as
it depends how you rank them.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued to see how that's going to play out next summer. But I think it'll do well. I do. One thing that seems to do well every time, Stu, Jurassic Park, and obviously we had the 3rd iteration of it, which was the first Jurassic Park without Spielberg, which probably shows. Like I don't remember a lot about it. I don't even know if I've seen it in one sitting or if I saw it across a couple, but I don't remember it having anywhere near the excitement of the first one, and I don't even remember if I've seen the second one, to be perfectly honest. But it feels like Jurassic Park 3 was just kind of disposable in a way that Spielberg's films generally aren't.
I remember at the time being a bit meh about it all. Because the bird cages was cool. But I think it's very much revisionist history now that it's better than Lost World is an awful film. This is the 3rd one's better than the 2nd. Even with Vince Vaughn being in the 2nd. But you got William H. Macy camping around for no real reason, being a bit wet, and there's some strange things going on in it. But it's more entertaining than the 2nd one, which is weird considering The Lost World is almost an adaptation in its own right from the Crichton books. But the fact that they're still going on and we still had one last year kind of says everything about them, really. And the amount of money they make, and it doesn't matter how the quality anymore. But the 3rd one, I'm quite fond of the 3rd one now. It took a while. But
From what I remember, it feels more like a TV movie than like an actual summer blockbuster.
It's because it's so segmented as well. Like you've got, I know what you mean. Like it could be a show because you've got the bit in the plane, then you've got the bit in the aviary, then you've got the bit in the water, then
it's
you've got
so
the bit
episodic,
with the Spinosaurus and the fence, and yeah, it's just a load of set pieces thrown together, which it doesn't really. It seems it's a cash grab, and why wouldn't you at that point?
Yeah.
And you can kind of see why they didn't make a 4th after it, and it took a while to come back.
That makes sense. Planet of the Apes, the Tim Burton film. So this feels like this was the first reboot I actually remember being a reboot or remake, whatever you want to call it. Because it wasn't really the done thing at this point in Hollywood, and now it's fucking dime a dozen, isn't it? Let's be honest. I remember the makeup looking fantastic, but I remember this. I remember the journey of the film being absolutely terrible, and then the ending made no sense. And even all these years later, I'm still like, I have absolutely no idea what you're trying to say with this movie. I don't like Tim Burton anyway. We've made that kind of clear on this podcast. But I feel like this is the lowest of the low for him. Am I being harsh? Do any of you three think that this is a noble failure? Or is it just a failure?
I didn't watch it. Tim Burton. I saw Tim Burton. That was enough. Even in when I'm 16, that's enough for me. Not watching it.
Fair.
It stunk. It stunk. It stunk when it came out. It stunk more when The Simpsons did the piss take.
Yeah.
And it stinks even more now they've done the other films. Like that's how you do a Planet of the Apes film. Like they've just made that film look worse and worse and worse. Like give me a 2-hour Dr. Zayas.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I'd take that over this crap every fucking day.
Yeah. Stu?
I mean, like I said, I grew up watching Planet of the Apes, and so when I bought that box set, it was kind of in preparation for this film. And then, like you said, it still does look good in parts, but it's a mess. It doesn't make any sense. It's like it's been the start of it. It seems like it's trying to be the start of something else rather than its own film, but without that other something else being planned. Which is the only kind of way to explain, because it's like, well, the space, and I don't know, just bizarre. But it's not Tim Burton enough to be Tim Burton, so it's just wank.
I think that's a fair point, because I don't like him. He's an auteur director, but I don't like him. But I don't see his auteurship throughout that film at all. Like, there's nothing kind of kooky or sideways that you expect to see in a Burton film. It feels a very un-Burton film in those aspects, other than obviously the physical aspects of the makeup and stuff like that, which is kind of in his wheelhouse. But also, I hate Marky Mark, so I think that probably shades it a little bit as well.
Does what's his face not just turn up? What, I've forgotten bloody name now.
I don't think Johnny Depp's in it.
Johnny Depp.
I don't think so.
Helena Bonham Carter's in it.
That was my next guess. Then, if he's not in it, is she in it?
She plays the chimp love interest, if I remember correctly.
Of course she does. There's being an auteur or just having 3 mates, isn't there?
Yeah, just seeing.
She'd have been gone with his balls by that point, wouldn't she?
Yes, 100%. And of course, like the other big film, I think of that one, The Fast and the Furious.
Hell yeah.
Now, I didn't watch it at the time. I didn't want to see it. It looked chavvy as fuck. And having now seen it, it is chavvy as fuck. Of all of the films, like of all of the 20-odd films that we've mentioned, this isn't the one I expected to go on to be the billion-dollar franchise of the bunch. This film is so weird when you look at it in context of all of the other films. I've made the joke before on here about how the first one is them stealing DVD combi players. Like, how have they gone from that to flying a fucking car in space? It makes no sense whatsoever.
Family. It's just family.
Yeah. But like, of all of them, that is not the one I would have thought that's going to be the franchise that is going to run and give us 11 films, several TV spin-off shows. I think there's another one in the works, comic books, audio, like everything. People are just have gone a little bit crazy, and it's so far removed from what it was. But it is the biggest hit of that summer in those terms, isn't it? It's the one that's had the legs.
I watched it straight away but I loved the Need for Speed games, and so this was kind of like, I know Underground and stuff came kind of later because of this, and like the car modding stuff and Pimp My Ride and all that kind of thing. It just looked mental, and you look at some of the trailers for it, and you got the jump and everything, and cars jumping around, DVDs. This will be fun. But I don't think anyone would have said it where it'd go where it's gone. And it does almost feel like a film out of time, this one, compared to... Because Too Fast, Too Furious is bad, but it's funny.
It's awful, but yeah, it is funny. And
Tokyo Drift is almost like it's not really... It doesn't count really, does it?
No.
You've got 3 characters out of it as a side project, but this one does stand out as being very odd compared to the others, other than the hashtag family stuff. But it was still great. It was great at the time, and it's great now.
Do you think the legacy was not in the obviously the way they wanted it to? But do you think Paul Walker dying the way he did? Do you reckon that gave it some extra legs just because of it having that tragedy attached to it?
No, because it was already massive by that point anyway.
Yeah, true.
Because if that had been happening in the fifth one, then maybe.
You know who's helped it, don't you? Dwayne. Dwayne's helped it.
Yeah,
Because
he did, because it was
he changed it from a
flaming.
car film.
yeah,
Changed
which
it
is
from a car film to silly action bollocks.
Yeah, he certainly gave it the nod that it needed to get it over the line. Like, it did give it that extra bump, didn't he? And I think that did help massively. And obviously Statham coming on as well. Two big, ridiculous character actors who just swing for the fences in their performance just helped it so much. Because Vin Diesel doesn't have a great deal of charisma, if I'm being brutally honest. Paul Walker's one of the worst fucking actors I've ever seen. So, yeah, those guys 100% saved this.
Is he a better actor or a driver?
redacted.
Have you seen them all, Ash?
No, I'm not watching 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I haven't watched 1, 2, or 4. I don't
That's
know
fine.
why, but I've watched Tokyo Drift. But then, obviously, when number 5 and he was announced, it's like, I've got to watch it now.
Yeah, but
And
you can quite easily watch 5 onwards because it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
the continuity doesn't really exist throughout any of them, to be fair. So you could probably just jump in at any point.
and then
Ed, have you seen them all?
Were 9, didn't they?
I've seen one. That's
Oh. This is
exactly the same. They were. It was a chavvy film before we had the word chav, wasn't it? We used townies or kebs. We used to call them around here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a car. I'm still not a car person. I've got a brown dad car, so I assumed they wouldn't be for me. At some point, I probably should visit the ones with Statham and the rocking because at least you're going to get some silly bollocks. But
Go from 5 onwards.
Yeah, Fast 5 is really fun anyway, and it's got it, and that the song was played at every World Cup game as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that completely. I think 5 is actually a legitimately decent action. I wouldn't say action comedy, but it is funny in parts. Like, it does have humour to it. So 5 onwards, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, 9 was terrible. 10 was shit, but it was fun in a so bad it's good kind of way.
Hobbs and Shaw's worth your time.
Hobbs and Shaw should have got a sequel.
I mean, again, it was a bit shit, but shit enough that it was fun. And I think that's kind of where they're at this point in time, is they just need to get it over the line because it's like they've stalled a little bit, I think, and having 10 end the way it ended, and it's fucking 4 years later and it still isn't 100% going to happen.
Yeah.
I know he said it is, but I also think Vin Diesel might be full of shit, so I'm not entirely... Until I see it in the cinema, I'm just going to assume it's not happening at this point.
Well, the script made him cry, didn't it?
For context, Ed, it's not even a spoiler. The Fast 10 ended by them driving down the side of a dam.
I remember you guys have. You've all talked about them. I've lived vicariously through you lot with Fast and Furious, like I did with 80% of the Nicolas Cage films.
I have
Best way to experience some of them, in fairness.
I fully lived through Fast 10, like properly.
Crazy. So we also had a bit of a wave of comedy films that came in as well. So we've mentioned American Pie 2, Legally Blonde, which we had sequels. There's been a stage play. We've got a prequel TV show that's, I think it's like 2 months old at this point on Prime. Rush Hour 2, which I think they tried and struggled and didn't quite hit the audience that it wanted. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was the 2001 film. Jay and Silent Bob are still knocking around in the big wide world, and Evolution being the other film. So I think we had some decent comedy that year. And what I kind of like about that comedy lineup, there's something for everybody in there. Like, I kind of like that you've got something that's predominantly aimed at teenagers. You've got something that's predominantly aimed at a female audience. You've got action. You've got the Jay and Silent Bob, which rewards you for being on this journey of, at this point, 5 films with them. And then you've got Evolution, which is kind of this sci-fi, obviously spinning out of the X-Files because of having Fox Mulder in the film. I like that this summer feels like there's a bit of something for everybody here.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we get that a lot over the last 5 or 6 years. A lot of summer films kind of feel much of a muchness.
I like that we've got the variety here.
And it didn't really matter as much with money, as much. They could take more risks and know full well that it would pay off in DVD sales afterwards.
That makes such a big difference, doesn't it? I think.
I think when I watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, we went in and I didn't know what they were.
Same.
I'd never seen them before.
That's crazy because there's so many in jokes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, watching Clerks and all the rest of it, but later on, I thought, oh, okay, this is where this came from then. But it was the same with Good Burger. Like, I watched Good Burger without having any knowledge of who they were, and then went back and watched them later.
Is that the Keenan and Kel film?
Yeah.
Okay, never seen it.
They were on Hot Ones the other week.
I love
Did
Keenan.
he tell you about the time he sat next to me at Little Shop of Horrors? But yeah, I don't really know that show. But yeah, it's great to see, and I think you make a good point. Like, it does feel like we had a lot more of the mid-budget films at this point, the smaller and mid-budget. So you don't need 500 to $1 billion to break even on a lot of these films, and I do think that helps a lot. Ed, what do you think about this though? Because as I say, it's such a varied slate of comedies, and we don't really get that many comedies anymore.
No, and when you read through all of those, every single one of them is a relatively original story. Obviously, Rush Hour is an action film, so they're cops. They're a odd couple, and they do what they do. But Jackie Chan and I really like Rush Hour too. Rush Hour 1 and 2 are great films, but they're again throwaway 90-minute films. We just don't get them now. The broad spectrum you had there, we just don't get, because everything now is either a rehash of a film we've already seen before, or it's another Marvel film, or it's something else very knowing that we've had before. I wonder if Stu's hit the nail on the head, though, is that it's not the be-all and end-all to have a box hit smash, because doing okay was fine, because none of those were... It's not like a Marvel film when you have 17 A-listers. You've got one or two that you know of, and then the rest either are making a name for themselves or are happy to be supporting casts. I think now we have a lot of alphas, don't we? And I think that's probably the difference. It's maybe writing for that many stars that you have to fit in now to fill the seats is really difficult.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like, if you think of American Pie 2, there was no star. Like, they were all the star. They were all rising at the same time. Legally Blonde, it was obviously Reese Witherspoon, but that's very early days in her career. So again, there's no real, huge standout.
The biggest one's probably Jackie Chan. Probably.
Yeah, and I say Rush Hour 2, you've got Jackie Chan, but I remember Chris Tucker being... his star was on the rise at that point as well. Like, he was becoming he was Chris Rock before Chris Rock, I think. Yeah. Like, he was that type of humour. Jay and Silent Bob, I think he's probably a different beast, but to be fair, in that film, you've got Will Ferrell, who is, became one of the biggest names in comedy for a good stretch of time. And Evolution, whilst you did have David Duchovny, it was a bit more of an ensemble kind of a cast. So I think that's a really good point as well.
I think she brought back Dan Aykroyd after doing not much at all. When was Blues Brothers? Was it 2000?
Yeah, 2000. Or 99.
Yeah, it was Blues Brothers 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Was it actually out in 2000?
Awful fucking film that one is.
It's fun.
I liked it.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched that on the couch.
I love John Goodman, but that was terrible, that film. Ash, what are you thinking about this summer slate of comedies?
Sean William Scott's had a good year there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, American Pie 2 and Evolution. It's amazing that he never kicked on, really. I like Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
I've always liked Sean William Scott. Have you ever watched Goon? Like, Goon is one of my, not even guilty pleasures. And him and Liev Schreiber. And, what's the kid's name? Jay Baruchel.
I like Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, I love that film. I think there's a couple there that they wouldn't get made now. Like, American Pie would never get made now. I
don't think the kids would be acting that way now, from what I can tell. Like, it feels like that is very much how the world was then, and once and never again.
No, I think, and in the schoolyard and stuff like that, if you got the dodgy DVD of the pirate copy, and we're all stood around in someone's house watching American Pie, and you're realising this thing does more than just we. Shannon Elizabeth was a bit of an awakening for everyone in that case. It's like you say, like everyone said, it's just You've got the edgy comedy, you've got the stoner comedy, you've got the buddy cop comedy, girly comedy, and you just don't get all that sort of stuff anymore.
So as I said, with 25 years on, the 10 films mentioned in the Big Five and the comedy wave, we've got Shrek 5 next year, another undoubtedly awful Jurassic Park film slated for 2028 currently, another Brendan Fraser Mummy being made, Fast and Furious 11 and spin-off shows coming, another Planet of the Apes reportedly slated for next summer. American Pie has been running in one guise or another up until 2020. Legally Blonde has just had this prequel TV show on Amazon. Jay and Silent Bob are still around. Evolution was the one that was never really picked up again after that once. Rush Hour had another sequel and a failed TV adaptation in 2016, which I have absolutely no recollection of. And to be fair, like with Rush Hour, the creator is currently hiding in Israel with his pal Jeffrey Epstein, so I don't think we'll ever see anything Rush Hour related again, if I'm honest with that one. But even so, 8 out of those 10 films are still around in the zeitgeist somewhat. That's kind of mental to think that we're 25 years later and that's still the case.
Yeah, if you go 25 years before this, there's no way any of that stuff was hanging around.
No, I mean, maybe when was Bad Lieutenant? Because we've got another Bad Lieutenant coming out.
86.
The third one. Was it 8? Okay.
Ish, I think.
I thought it may have been in the 70s. Like, that's the only one that immediately springs to mind for me.
The Harvey Keitel one?
Yeah. And even that's like tenuous because obviously they're completely different with different directors, and it's just that, you know, the prefix of Bad Lieutenant.
Oh, 92?
Was it real? I thought it was much older than that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you are right. Like, there's nothing from the late 70s that is still around in 2001. There's nothing I can think of that's Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars and Shaft, which did come back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it did,
right.
Yeah, crazy. Ash, which film has aged the best?
Ooh. Shrek. It was the start of it's the start of it, and everyone still quotes Shrek to this day.
Yeah. Ed, are you in agreement, or?
Yeah, it has to be Shrek. I think the fact that there's still a stage show is I think is testament to that. I did just quickly Google, by the way, films from 1976, and A Star Is Born. It was the remake.
Okay, yeah.
Recently, with what's her face in it, Barbara Streisand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that's it. Everything else, there was nothing
Probably
else
the
there.
best version of that film, actually, as well. I think that one. Stu, Shrek, 3 for 3.
I mean, in terms of you watch it now and it doesn't seem out of place, which is what the question is, probably. I mean, I'd say Jurassic Park 3 does stand up effects-wise, and it's better than the one from last year. Tomb Raider as well. We ain't talked about Tomb Raider, but them two Tomb Raider films were really fun. And Daniel Craig,
I remember hating the pair of them.
So did I. And then I rewatched them a few years ago, and they were a lot better than I remember them being. And Daniel Craig as a villain was quite funny.
God, I hate Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I don't like Daniel Craig. The only thing I can remember is Rimmer was obviously the butler, wasn't he? That's all I can remember about them. That's the only fucking highlight, is that Chris Barry was in them.
But he didn't go in the fridge either, so that was all ruined.
Yeah.
God. The hours wasted trying to get the butler in the bloody fridge.
Ridiculous.
You can still do it in the remake. They haven't took it out.
Good, they shouldn't have done.
Yeah, needs to be in there. It's like legacy shit, that is. So, what are you saying? What is the best aged one?
It probably is Shrek, because it still looks... I mean, it obviously looks dated like the first Toy Story does, but it's still perfectly watchable.
Yeah.
And I've had like 3 different generations of kids all watching it over the last 20 years. So...
It defined that genre of comedy for kids and for adults as well, didn't it? Because Toy Story started it, but Shrek knocked the ball in the back of the net, didn't it, really? And we haven't looked back from that.
Yeah.
To the point where it's a little bit too knowing now, probably. There's maybe too many adult jokes now in kids' films.
Yeah. I think what Shrek did well, though, is it didn't make the jokes like relevant to 2001 and nothing else. They were jokes about being an adult and being a child. Like, so you could have both of those jokes at any point throughout time and they would still work. And I think that's why Shrek probably holds up better than the rest, to be fair. Which has aged the worst and why is it Planet of the Apes, Stu?
I don't think it's aged the worst. I think it's always been shit.
Yeah. Because as you said, the visuals do look really good. It's just a terrible fucking film.
Yeah. I mean, from a woke point of view, you'd say American Pie, but it was a snapshot at the time, so not really. I haven't seen The Mummy Returns for such a long time, but that Scorpion King moment is the obvious thing to say.
That's an absolutely perfect movie, Stu. We don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't think you don't get buddy comedies like Rush Hour anymore. But it's been so long since I've seen them as well. I'm not sure. But Fast and Furious, you don't still come with DVD players anymore. You don't drive around hoisting lorries.
I think the fact that one of the leads died in a fucking fireball driving down the road means that the first Fast and Furious film probably has aged the worst because of what happens in it and what happens around the film. I think it probably hasn't aged particularly well.
No, and it looks like it could have been made in '96 as well.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Ed, what's the worst aged one?
Culturally, Stu's right. You wouldn't get American Pie now. So it's going to be that is probably the real answer. But I think out of those, I mean, I wouldn't have watched. I don't even know what the Tim Burton film looks like. I would not have touched that with the barge pole. So I'm going to probably have to go with Fast and Furious just because of that. The whole plot line doesn't work now, does it either? We just couldn't get that. And the only problem you have with Rush Hour is that any buddy cop now seems to be Mark Wahlberg with someone, doesn't it? And that automatically makes it no more than a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, very much so.
You know,
Ash?
the best buddy comedy that no one ever talks about is The Nice Guys.
I love
That's a great film.
There is a rumour
the Russell Crowe one?
that there's a rumour that 2 is now in production.
Great film.
The rumour was that he, what's his face, Gosling, Ken, sold his soul to Marvel to get The Nice Guys 2 made.
Well,
and that's what I'm hoping against hope for.
Yeah.
He approached them with an original idea for Ghost
No,
Rider.
Stu, he sold his fucking soul to make Nice Guys 2.
The best thing about it was the fact that he's wanted to play Ghost Rider all this time. That's why he married her.
That is class, to be fair.
Sure.
Ash, which one's aged worse?
I was thinking of a buddy cop, and I was just thinking Dwayne and Kevin Hart.
Oh, God.
Dwayne and Ryan Reynolds, that's the best one.
No.
What, Red Notice?
Yeah.
I didn't mind Red Notice.
It was fun.
Yeah. Turn your brain off.
Just because of how good the other films are, I have to go with Planet of the Apes. Caesar saying no in the first one, completely, like, that bit alone just shits on everything that Burton monstrosity was.
Yeah, I haven't disliked a single Planet of the Apes film, even before or after. Like, I think they're all really enjoyable. Even the shitty original ones are still decent watches, and that just sticks out like a sore thumb, doesn't it, I think? And like you say, it's just gone from strength to strength in the modern day. So, yeah, I completely get the argument there.
And there is a Planet of the Apes Telltale game as well, which no one's. It's not great, but it fits in that world perfectly.
Did not know that. Save one film: Shrek or Fast and Furious. Ed,
Shrek.
Ash,
Shrek.
Stu.
Oh,
Just say Fast and Furious, like I'm going to.
I mean, without Shrek, you don't get minions. So is that a bad thing?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Fuck that.
But then we probably wouldn't have got How to Train Your Dragon either. And now
fine with that as well.
And now I'm converted to you. But obviously, Fast and Furious is it's the creation of the century, really. When you think about it.
Just think of how much fun we've had watching those. At best, average, and at worst, the worst films you've ever seen. Like, it's just been excellent. What have we got next? What's the next question? Which film deserves a remake, and who would you have remake it? Ed?
I'm going to say The Mummy Returns because it's my favourite on the list, and I want the new Brendan Fraser to be Andrew Garfield.
Oh, I like that.
I think he'd be
I
really
like that
good.
a lot.
I think he'd be really good at the quirky, half nerdy, half action hero.
That would work really well, I think. That's cool. Ash?
I've gone. Can I go off list?
Yeah, yep.
I'm having A Knight's Tale.
Honourable mention for me. That
I'm going to have James Gunn direct it, and I'm having Ryan Gosling.
Excellent. Stu?
That seems scandalous behaviour, really. It seems, well, we are getting another Tomb Raider film, so there's another one to add to the list. You look at the rest of them, and they kind of have been. It's a tough question to say. I mean, I would after all this time, I would love another Evolution because it didn't take itself seriously whatsoever, even at the time. And I can remember the last one, maybe Electric Six last year, which was admittedly not great, and at best, okay. But that's probably the closest you get to these like not IP based one-off adventures.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say what's Chevy Chase doing, but you can't really talk about Chevy Chase. Like we're getting Noel Edmonds, someone from the 90s, and just put them in there for a laugh.
Noel Edmonds. That's what you go in.
Noel Edmonds and Mr. Blobby. Fucking hell, that'd be incredible.
Exactly. Bring Blobby back.
God. Appalling. Absolutely appalling. I would remake Fast and Furious and have the exact same cast, apart from Paul Walker's character, obviously, who would be played by Nicolas Cage doing his Memphis Reigns from Gone in 60 Seconds. That's the film I want to see. Yeah, 100% that one. Excellent. Cool. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we will be discussing our short film review, which is Charlie Kaufman's How to Shoot a Ghost. Welcome back. It's the short film review. We are discussing Charlie Kaufman's new short film, which is called How to Shoot a Ghost. It is currently available on YouTube. I think it might be the longest short film we've done at 27 minutes. We've done a couple of Charlie Kaufman films and discussed him before, Stu, in the previous iteration of this podcast, because obviously he did adaptation. So it is a director that, or writer in that case, that we do sort of know and kind of enjoy. This is quite different to that. It's a film starring Jessie Buckley and some other dude who I don't even know who he is, but she's a recognisable face. He's a recognisable name behind the camera. So the rules are 60 seconds to do a review of the film. I will go from right to left on my screen to make it easier. Stu, you're on the right. So tell me when you're ready.
Okay. This felt like the longest short film we've done. It's probably also the most pretentious wankery piece of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. This was the first time, even for me, who watches everything to completion at all times, was tempted to just turn it off and sack it in after 10 minutes. I thought, I can't take it anymore. It's like water torture. I don't know what's going on. It's obviously what this is. This is based on that game from years ago where you could go in and take pictures and you could see dead people in the film. That was better than this. And it was way too artsy. It annoyed me at a base level to my core. And it was pissing me off, so much so that I watched that crazy Netflix documentary about the woman who stole a baby. I thought, yeah, this is more entertaining than this. It was absolute wank. Shit, worst thing ever.
Cool, thank you. Ed, you're next up, mate. Tell me when.
Yeah, whenever.
Okay.
Yeah. When I asked with 45 minutes to go before we started filming if we got a short film, because I didn't see it, and it was 27 minutes long, that made me feel sick. 7 minutes in, when someone repeats the word blue 14 times. Blue, blue. And then they repeat more and more stuff. This is all this needed to put the cherry on the cake of the wankery that Stu has just eloquently put, was it to end with the word Finn.
Yeah.
And it to go into black and white for some reason. Please do not watch it. It even has interpretive dance. It's the worst thing I think I've ever actually sat through for 27 minutes.
Excellent, thank you.
Ash, say when.
Crack on then. I mean, at least it looked nice. Greece looked nice there, and I'm pretty sure I saw Odysseus at one point. That's probably about as positive at the end. Like I say, like I said before, I was expecting Barney to show up in a fucking beret. Just
Don't cry for me.
I'm already dead. I think I'd rather watch that on repeat. I sort of saw where it was trying to go, but I just didn't care. Just too artsy for me. Nah, sorry.
Cool. Thank you. Right. Okay. Like, I am a fan of auteur directors, and I like Charlie Kaufman's work, as we've discussed. He explores identity and memory and creativity, like, amongst other themes. But even as a writer, I feel that whoever directs his work, they also seemed to have a very visual and tonal identity that he brings when he's done adaptation and Eternal Sunshine. Like, it's dominated by Kaufman's voice. So when I found out that he was directing either HD scripts rather than his own, I was kind of intrigued by it. Visually and tonally, it's still kind of Kaufman, because this plays with memory and loneliness whilst wandering the streets of Athens in the afterlife, with echoes of time seeping in. There's dream logic and metafiction, like, it's very much kind of Kaufman's wheelhouse. But whilst I thought this film did look beautiful, I was really impressed with the shooting, the editing, the acting. The issue is that the exploration of the humanism across 27 minutes is so thin. Like, this poetic elegy just becomes repetitive very quickly. After 5 minutes, it's just the same thing over and over. The elements of Memento Mori do resonate and give rise to some introspection, but because the story is so thin that it's repeating this same sonata throughout, it leaves the film with less weight than the direction deserves. Like, I think directorially, it's really good, but plot-wise, it's dog shit. It was so disappointing.
Most and the answer to anything ever.
I believed every word he just said then. When I'm with you, Stu, it made me physically, like, angry.
I don't know what any of them words even meant. But...
Football in the groin has football in the groin.
Yeah. But if it was 10 minutes long, it would be okay.
No, It wouldn't. It still wouldn't have been okay because there was no story.
But that's fine. Like, you don't always need a story. Like, it was a poem. It was a tone poem, and I was kind of okay with that.
I'm with you there, Stu. I don't know what those words mean. I don't know what that is.
I would have been fine if it was like 10 minutes long, but it was just the repetition and how it dragged it out for 3 times the length that it particularly needed to be. Like, the editing moments, that they were quite sharp and snappy, and you had the echoes of history that kept coming over what you could see visually. I thought it was really well done, but the story was so boring that it just kind of shat over all of the good work of it. I was so disappointed in the end because, like I said, we like Charlie Kaufman around here. Yeah, big disappointment. Quick break. We'll discuss what we've watched recently, and then we'll be back to do the cruise for Minority Report. Welcome back. Ash, give me something good that you've seen in the last month.
The Odyssey.
Give me something we haven't talked about that you've seen in the last month.
Let's have a look. Letterboxd. The Death of Robin Hood.
Okay. Michael Sarnowski, who directed Pig, back for The Death of Robin Hood. How was it?
First half grim, second half sad. Just it's the first time that there's been a challenger for the Fox version. Because Robin Hood's one of those awful ones where a stupid Disney Fox from ages ago has never been beaten.
60s.
Whereas this is a very different take, and it's arguably one of Jackman's better performances.
Oh, excellent. Up there with Sheep Detectives, Jackman.
Potentially, yeah.
Very good. Very good. It's weird how this hasn't seemed to have had a British release yet. I assume it's A24 because their release schedule in the UK is fucking abysmal. It's always several months later, by which point it's streaming in the US, which means it's streaming around the world. So, yeah, it's really disappointing because you'd think as well, Robin Hood, where are you going to do a Robin Hood film? in the UK. That just makes sense, doesn't it? And yeah, just nothing. Seen nothing of it. It's very disappointing.
I saw the trailer for it about a month ago. And nothing since.
Nothing since.
No.
I can only assume it's either A24 or Neon. Because
It is A24, I just Googled it.
Is it? Yeah. Yeah, they're always months behind the US release, and it's just pointless because if you don't do it day and date, it's available everywhere to stream. So, very disappointing that we haven't got it. But I don't know, to hold out and see. Ash, what do you think? Should I hold out and see it on the big screen, or does it not need the big screen treatment?
It doesn't need it, but give it the respect it deserves. Like,
Okay.
Also, it's nice to see the cunt who does it. What's his name? Which Skarsgård is he?
Skarsgård.
Bill.
Bill.
Bill, yeah.
It's nice to see him do a proper role, like not silly bollocks. Because he plays Little John.
Okay. I might hold on and wait for the cinema then, in fairness. Ed, have you seen anything good?
I mean, I know you guys talked about it last week. I saw Spider-Man at the weekend. Really enjoyed it.
Obviously.
Didn't mind it at all. Thought it was... It felt less CGI heavy. The way it was shot was quite interesting. I mean, you take what you do with the multiverse stuff. It's really difficult, isn't it, to get overly excited? But I really liked it. That's pretty much the only new thing. I've been to Butlins and survived. So life is now post Butlins.
Fair. Stu, have you got anything good to discuss?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Did you see that there was some behind the scenes footage from Glasgow from when they actually filmed him swinging on the back of a lorry. So it really wasn't CG at all. He was actually on a crane swinging around on a rope. Madness.
Oh, wow, okay.
This is very
actually Holland, or did they get someone else?
Yeah, because you can see, because that's the thing with this one, because of the suit not being nano nonsense and actually being fabric, you can see that it's him for most of the time.
Yeah. Very cruisy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I watched the when I said that before, I hadn't watched any TV stuff for ages, and then I watched the Michael Jackson Verdict, that Maternal Instinct that I watched a bit of before.
Yeah.
That's this. I mean, the story's there at the start, but how it gets there is just mad.
Insane, isn't it? Yeah.
And my ex was weird and strange and slightly psychotic at times, but it's like, I'm glad I'm not out there when there's people like this around. It's like, bad times. But yeah, I mean, there's the Idaho Murders, College Nightmare. That was another one. Classic Netflix true crimes, 40-plus-year-old women stuff. But Spider Noir, I finished that. Obviously, we're going to talk about it properly soon. In the end, I was very pleased.
Okay. I'm still like 3 episodes in, I think, so...
It took a while to warm up, and I watched the whole thing in black and white. I watched the first episode again in colour, just to see it, and it felt like it was there added later. It didn't feel like it was obviously meant to be watched in black and white, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. I mean, a lot more than some of the MCU TV shows like Echo and all the other bollocks that we've had to suffer through over the years. It was fun. It didn't take itself seriously, and yet there was stuff there that was very complicated as well. You thought, oh, you're going there, are you? Really good. Surprising.
Oh, cool. Okay. Good for me that I watched this last month was Over Your Dead Body, Samara Weaving and Jason Segel. I like both of those anyway, so I think I was already predestined to enjoy it. I like Timothy Olyphant and Juliette Lewis as well. They were both excellent in it. I didn't expect it to be as gruesome as it was. Like, there were a couple of like proper fucking gripping the edge of your seat moments where it's like, that's a bit much. But it was enjoyable, fun. Samara Weaving she used her actual Aussie accent, which I don't know if I've ever heard before, and she was the most obnoxious fucking annoying cunt you've ever seen on film. Until the point that, like, she does the face turn. And Seagull was such a pussy throughout the movie, again, until you have the face turn, that you kind of hate them until you love them. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't at all what I went in expecting. I thought it was going to be a bit more slapsticky, and it ended up being a bit... that was rough in parts. So I really enjoyed it, and I would thoroughly recommend it to anybody. Yeah, good shit that was.
Is she related to Hugo Weaving?
Yes.
She is his niece, I believe. Because I thought she was British. I didn't think she was an Aussie. So when I found out she was actually Aussie, and I thought, well, Hugo Weaving's also Aussie. So yeah, I checked, and I think it's niece, if I remember correctly.
Danny John Jules, his nephew.
That's
Over Kilmarnock.
Yeah. Ed, have you seen anything bad in the last month?
Other than the Great and Washed at Butlins? No, not really. That's what I mean. I've been missing for like the last 4 weeks because work and life has been really busy. So
just no time.
No, that's why Spider-Man was there. I think I started Spider-Man Noir, and then I didn't get through the first episode because I think just life kind of caught up with me. But I am looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I think the plan we'll do, if we try and get it done the first week of September, so we'll be recording like the end of August to get it on the first week of September. So it gives us a few weeks to try and get it in if you're able to. Stu, anything bad?
I mean, other than that short film, Supergirl wasn't in that month, was he? I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's been so long. It feels like years ago.
It does feel like a lifetime ago. I don't think Supergirl was bad. I just think it was. I think the worst thing about Supergirl is that it was completely forgettable. Like, I didn't walk out annoyed at the film. I walked out and thought, I've forgotten most of what happened in that movie, which is probably a worse indictment, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I mean, that is something that when we come to it, that's going to be the big... I'll be shocked if anything's more disappointing than that. But now, I mean, because I've been watching World Cup stuff and doing other things, there wasn't really a chance for anything to be bad. And everything that I've watched, even like Idaho Murders, like why am I doing this to like 48 minutes, like three episode docudramas? But it was okay. It was fine. There wasn't a bad thing on there. I mean, this one next to him, the Mourinho one, will be on there on Netflix. That'll be interesting. And Quarterback is back on there now, obviously, because football season started soon.
Yeah.
And it's just standard, same as. Yeah, nothing bad.
That's good. Ash, anything negative you need to air out?
I'm just trying to look at what I've watched. Hungry it wasn't... Technically, it's not great, but it's not the best. It's the Hungry Hippos film.
Right, yes, I remember you mentioning this one now.
Yeah, the horror film about hippos.
Is this in the vein of like the fucking Twisted Universe, the Winnie the Pooh?
I'd say more Sharknado kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of them. You can sit there and watch it for about 5. You can watch it while playing on your phone. Moana, Dirge.
Oh yeah, the live action one. Yeah. Well, it's just pointless. It's utterly pointless.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I don't know why.
Bother. You're right, because it is pointless. Because the actual original is a perfect film. Why would you remake it? Yeah. Mental.
It was undenied in our house, and we decided against it for that very reason.
Yeah.
The most disappointing film of the month was Passenger. I think it also helps the fact that we've obviously been eating so good with horrors and thrillers and stuff like that. This was just so average.
Okay. I remember the trailer, and the trailer looked better than Obsession. Like, it looked genuinely scary, the trailer did. And it just wasn't in the end.
Yeah. It just doesn't hold up.
It starts really good until when they go to the camp with the others.
Yeah.
And then from then onwards, it's like, oh, this has kind of dropped off a little bit. I didn't hate it, but I liked it at the time, and that's why I was winding Matt up about it. I thought, this is never stop. You can never stop. And if you are one of the travelling community, and you watch this, I'm guessing it'll have the same effect of like when I couldn't be in a locked room after watching The Fly. So, but I was 7, so. But yeah, I know what you mean. It wasn't what it seemed at all.
No.
It looked like it was going to be a scary, like actually leaning into horror version of Hollow Road, which was more atmospheric. That was really good. That was, though. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, I think you'd probably get something out of it. I wouldn't say don't watch it. I enjoy. I mean, I watched Obsession and this in the space of 1 week after the other.
Okay.
And I came out and I wasn't mad, and I was like, oh, that was a good waste of 2 hours.
Fair.
But it's just it's one of them. It's like instantly forgettable though.
I watched Evil Dead Burn the week before, so like
it's rough. That film is. It's so fucking mean spirited. I really enjoyed it. I don't think many other people did. I did, because it sort of lived up to the name a lot better than I think some of the other Evil Dead films have done, because it was just mean throughout, and I liked that. Like, people were just bullied, and it was fun. So yeah, I did enjoy that too. In terms of bad, I saw Ice Cream Man this week, which I knew I was going to hate, because Eli Roth fucking stinks as a director. But it was a secret screening film. So I went hoping it was going to be Sex and Death at Camp, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, you know, the Gillian Anderson film that's coming out. I was hoping it was going to be that, but I was almost certain it was going to be Eli Roth's dog shit film. The problem with it is, when a director tries to make a cult film, inevitably it's terrible. Like, you can't make a cult film. You have to make your film, and then it has to be accepted by the weirdos. And this, it was just lame. Like, I laugh a lot at horror at very inappropriate moments, because they're inappropriate. That's the joke. And this wasn't. This was just lame, corny ass bullshit throughout the film. It wasn't like, there was a lot of blood, but at no point did it ever look gruesome. Ironically, it looked like raspberry sauce from an ice. Like, it didn't. There was no substance to any of the film. It was just boring. It wasn't so bad it was good. It was just so bad it's probably the worst horror I've seen this year. And I've seen Scream 7 this year. Like, I didn't think anything was going to beat that as the worst horror of the year.
It's not a horror film.
It's fucking shit, though, isn't it? It felt... Ironically, that felt like it was AI. Ice Cream Man, Eli Roth has confirmed there is AI in this film. He used generative AI for some of the scenes. And I think that's why it all feels very synthetic-y, very plastic-y. And we've gone back, like, how many times did we used to complain, Stu, about terrible kid actors? And then it turned a corner. It was like, actually, the kids are pretty good now. Yeah. No, they're still shit. They're just hiring the good ones for the good films. They're still terrible. Awful.
But you were
such a bad film.
You were in the bad mood with the smelly nachos, though.
That did not help. 40 fucking minutes it took him to eat those nachos.
I don't know who
40
needs,
minutes.
I don't know who needs them. There was a bloke next to us in Spider-Man. We had the recliner seats, and he had a picnic with him, and I don't know what the hell he managed to, and he bought it all from the cinema. It must have cost him 4 times more than the ticket.
Mental. Absolutely mental.
Nothing is beating that fat whale that sat next to me at the naked one last year.
No, it sounded like she had a 3-course meal, mate.
Yeah.
So.
The guy sat next to me, whenever like there was someone hitting someone on screen or stabbing them, he was giving it a fist pump or a nod, like proper.
No!
Like, I got to a point, I was watching him, not the fucking screen. I was like, "The fuck are you doing, you nut job?" There was a round of applause at the end as well. There was a fucking round of applause. I wanted to spit at someone. I was in such a foul mood walking out. It's like, you don't fucking deserve it.
I need to watch this. It's going to be great.
Clapping when you land the plane.
Genuinely, Stu, don't go to the cinema to see it.
Oh no, I'm not watching there.
If you're going to watch it, do it on streaming. Yeah. But it was bad. It was so obvious. Everything that was happening was just blatant. It's the worst film I've seen this year.
Was House of Wax? Who made that? The remake of that?
I can't remember. The one with Paris Hilton.
Was that Rob Zombie?
Oh, it could have been. Let me have a look. House of Wax with Chad Michael Murray. Fuck me, that's a name you don't hear very often. No, that was... I don't know how you pronounce that. Home Colette Serra. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Alicia Cuthbert was in it, which I think was the only reason I watched it, to be honest.
Yeah.
As a fan of 24, obviously. Not just as a perverted young man.
Because she was in it, and there was the other one, Eliza Dushku, who disappeared off the face of the planet as well.
I believe... In House of Wax, it was Paris Hilton, Alicia Cuthbert, Jared Padalecki, that's your man from
Supernatural,
isn't it?
And The Boys.
Yes, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that one
There's
scene.
not a lot of other faces I recognise in the list. Obviously, Chad Michael Murray. Brian Van Holt, I recognise the face, but no.
But that's what Ice Cream Man feels like to me. It feels like a remake of something from before that's going to be
I
worse.
wish it was that good. I wish it was as good as House of Wax.
Have you seen what his run of films have been that he's directed?
No.
Right. Okay. So he did a music video for Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, me?
Hero.
House of Wax. He followed that up with Goal 2, Living the Dream.
Oh,
Then he did Orphan. Then he did he done a couple of other. He did Unknown. That's the Liam Neeson one.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of TV things. Non-Stop, which was the Liam Neeson one.
the plane one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run All Night. Another Liam Neeson one.
It sounds exactly the same as Non-Stop, doesn't it? Though?
The Shallows.
The sharp
Blake
one, isn't it?
Lively.
That.
Yeah. And then TV episode The Commuter. And then Jungle Cruise.
This guy's brilliant.
Black Adam.
Mm.
Carry On, the Netflix one.
Yeah, that was good as well.
And then he did Woman in the Yard last year.
Oh, that was shit. That was.
And he's doing Cliffhanger. The
Yeah.
new Cliffhanger. What a weird fucking run.
That's a fuck. That is a bipolar ass fucking career. That is. Jesus wept.
There's some silly nonsense in there.
It all sounds like silly nonsense.
Yeah, it is.
But Carry On is actually a really good film.
Carry On's alright, to be fair.
Yeah. It's Die Hard again, but it's like modern Die Hard. And just because it was on Netflix, it's just like the rest. But it's actually not. It's one of the best ones.
Oh, Jason Bateman's in it. I quite like him, to be fair. I was thinking it was the one with. Was it Guy Pearce who gave himself like the monk cut? I thought it was that one, but I think that must be a different film about a plane. I can't quite remember what it is now. Don't know.
When the season arrives, get that in red
Yeah.
one.
We'll see. We'll see. Right. Anyway,
Violent Night 2. That's what we
Yes.
need to be going for.
yes, 100%. I'm quite looking forward to that.
Have you
Yeah,
seen who's in it?
No, all I've seen is when Stu put the thing in with Hopper's obviously in it again, and that's all I need to know. I don't want to know. Like, I don't need to see the trailer for it.
I know who Mrs. Claus is. He's got to lose his mind.
Go on.
Kristen Bell.
Oh my word!
But also
Sign me up.
one of the henchmen is our boy MJF.
Oh fuck me! This is a bit of me. This is all fucking day. Cannot wait. So
Yeah,
exciting.
You can watch Violent Night, and it's not a horror film.
It's Die Hard at Christmas. It's fucking. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I suppose Die Hard is Die Hard at Christmas, isn't it?
It's a montage of Christmas films in one, with a bit of dark comedy and
It's
gore.
fun.
I think Jared Harris is the big bad this time.
Okay. I like him. That sounds like a solid cast.
I think there's a bit of a foreshadowing because the clip I've seen of MJF, he's throwing a sledgehammer.
Incredible. Very excited. Brilliant. Right, quick break, then we're back with the Minority Report. Welcome back. Final part of the podcast. The cruise continues as we hit the 21st of June 2002 for Minority Report. I hadn't seen this film for a long ass time. I was worried it wasn't going to hold up, and I don't know what I was worried about. I have some problems with this film, but I really enjoyed this movie again. Ed?
Yeah, I remember watching it on DVD at uni, probably a year after. Enjoyed it then. Haven't watched it since. Really enjoyed it again. Great film. Great film. There are some bits we can pick out on it, but overall, this is a fun movie.
100%. I mean, it's Spielberg and Cruise. Ash, that feels like that's the biggest name director and the biggest name star in the world at that point.
I hadn't watched this since I went to the cinema and watched it when I was, what would I have been then, 12, 13. I know I didn't appreciate it as much. I enjoyed it for as much as a 13-year-old would, but rewatching it, it's a fucking very good film. Yeah, like no complaints really. I say there are problems, but they pale in significance to how good of a film that is. This is.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I feel like the third act. Yeah, I'll get into the details as to why. But Stu, the journey to get to the end of this film is it's proper fucking rip-roaring early 2000s. Like, this feels like what the 2000s were about for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like Fifth Element walked so this could run. And
yeah, I get that.
That's obviously not a spoiler for later, but it's to compare it to, but it's got a similar vibe, and it's same as Ash. I'd only ever seen this once, and that was on release week. So, God no, I didn't own this. I thought I did, but I looked at it. I haven't got it at all. I had AI, artificial intelligence. I didn't know this film,
which was Spielberg's film 12 months prior.
Yeah,
which kind of surprised me. Like, two big films like that in such a short space of time. Didn't expect that.
And that mostly holds up as well. Still, it looks a bit off, but it's gonna.
I hated it at the time, and I've only ever seen it once at the cinema. I kind of want to rewatch it to see if it'll have grown on me over the time.
Yeah, it's a lot better than I remembered it. A lot better. So it was on one of them, and it came up. So I think it was Gangster Ass DVD anymore. So it was all remastered and everything. So I watched it. I thought, yeah, obviously it's early. Like we just talked about an hour ago. It's early CG, so you kind of get away with it for what they are. But on the whole, I thought the CG in this was so much better than AI, considering it's only a year after. So some of the backpack stuff, the composite in's not great. But other than that, a lot of the practical stuff obviously works better, and the cars
100%.
Look like Hot Wheels. But other than that, it's spectacular.
I agree. I think the practical effects look really good. The CG isn't the easiest in parts. The spiders and like the general shots of the city, they look like you can almost see the seams, like you can see where they're joined together, and it doesn't quite fit. But the story, the acting, and all the other elements of the film, that holds everything together. Like, I think you can get away with having CG not being brilliant as long as everything else is on form. And I feel like this is Spielberg and Cruise completely firing on all cylinders at this point. I like the world building of it all as well. I like how everything feels quite genuine. I mean, like, when they're at the computer and he's doing all the gestures to move it around, we see that now in our world, let alone in and the whole thing feels genuine and unique because it is, obviously it's so far in the future for them, but a lot of this has just become our reality. And I think that is why this film has probably aged so much better than I expected it to.
Well, did you see that Spielberg employed like futurists? And you can kind of tell. Whether you had the projection of the real video stuff that was filmed, the home video on them slides, that's exactly what you get in the Apple VR headset nonsense thing that can do that with photos. The 3 projectors to make it into one, that exists. The gesture stuff, you can do that with a Quest headset. I do that every day. You can see where you're pulling and with depth and everything, and that's on the gloves themselves. You can get them now. The only things, like the glass and stuff, the glass exists. It's weird. The only thing that obviously flying cars still and jetpacks, but
one day on that.
One day.
Yeah, that's right.
We've got 30 years, haven't we? I think when this is this is set.
It doesn't feel out the realms of possibility anymore, does it? When you think of how much things have moved on, it's crazy. Ed, the chase sequences, they're tight, inventive. I like when he's being chased jumping from cars, but the cars are going vertically rather than horizontally. It feels magic, and I think when cinema is at its best, it feels magic.
Yeah, and again, it's futuristic, but not so much that you're taken out of it either. And I think I also quite liked it that the exposition's done and dusted within the first 10 minutes. and then you're just left to pick up the pieces of what else you can do. You don't get secondary expedition either, and we all know Cruise is really good at running, and he does it so well in this film. So well.
I mean, it's weird to see him walking in this film because all he fucking does is run in this movie.
Well, I mean, that's what his son loved him for. He was really fast.
Incredible. Ash, we've spoken quite a bit recently about Samantha Morton.
Yeah.
And then she comes in this and steals the show as well. Like, she just gives a hell of a performance here.
It's like she's a good actor or something. Like, who'd have known? Yeah. Like, it was quite good timing, really, being so close to the Odyssey, and then she's in this as well. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I thought she was phenomenal in this movie. Like, she's kind of creepy, but there's like a real emotional depth to the character, especially as like you learn more about the precog stories. And like, she held, again, it's very much that I think you need to buy into her to buy into the rest of the film.
Yeah.
I think if she doesn't work, I think the film would probably falter a little bit. But she does such a good job of holding it in this. Just phenomenal actor. Apparently Spielberg hadn't even met her when he offered her the role. He just saw her in something and was like, I like her, phoned her up, offered her the position. Incredible.
Well, I know it's just because it's a buzz cut as well, and she went further than that in. But it's like thinking about how like she should have won everything in Walking Dead. How good she was in that. And then you think, oh yeah, she did this before, in the complete opposite way of playing someone vulnerable and not knowing what's going on, compared to the super villain that she was in that show. But yeah, I think because the fans are listening to us, there was a clip of her being interviewed after the Odyssey saying she hasn't worked since they filmed it, and she's like, I don't get offered that much stuff, and I don't know why. I was like, well, no one does.
Incredible, isn't it? Like, it makes no fucking sense, because if you look at her filmography, it is solid. Obviously, you've got the Odyssey that she was in. She was in The Whale, the Brendan Fraser film from a couple of years ago. She had a tremendous run on The Walking Dead. She was part of the series when The Walking Dead got good again.
Yeah.
Like, it had faltered so much by that point, but her character, Alpha, and how that worked just pulled it all back together. She was in the Rillington Place BBC adaptation about the murders. I know she did the Fantastic Beasts. They're not films I've seen, but obviously that is a big film set in a big world. She's just got this career that is incredible, and I don't know how she isn't in every movie. I don't know how every director isn't just banging on trying to get her in there, because I don't think I've ever seen her give a performance that isn't solid, and this is just another one proving that she's, one of one when it comes to these things. Crazy. I really like how the central mystery within this film, I love how it's all layered and twisty, but it never feels convoluted. Like, it doesn't feel messy. It feels like, to use a Shrek analogy, it feels like an onion. You are peeling back the layers of it. And I think that works perfectly for this film, because it could quite easily have just evolved into twists for the sake of twists, and it never did that. I thought that was great.
I mean, it is just Mission Impossible.
Effectively, yeah. But one of the good ones, not Mission Impossible 2. I liked a lot about how Cruise was playing a broken man. I feel like we've kind of moved a lot with Cruise over the years, where he's now playing these characters with a lot more depth than what he probably was. I mean, even during some of the good films in the 80s, they're not the deepest of characters. But you see him now, and he is evolving as an actor to the point that he's not just an action star. He is a proper actor with it as well. And I think you get to see both sides of him in this film. I think it's a very good performance from him here. The eye replacement sequence, I thought that was kind of grim, but pretty funny as well. I liked how that was done. It's always good to see Peter Stormare as well. I always like to see a bit of Peter Stormare in my films. Obviously,
it was creepy without going too far, wasn't it? I thought that was quite good.
And I think they have to do that, especially in something like this film. You've got to make people be a little bit creeped out, but you can't go too far because you'll lose them. Because you obviously want an all-age audience for something like this. So I think he took it right up to the line without ever crossing it.
He plays the same character in Until Dawn, pretty much. He's that level of creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. absolutely.
More in the silly film than the game. But I think is he in the second one? Actually, I only watched that trailer once. I think he is. Isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember.
I feel like I should play the games because I didn't hate the film, and I don't know if I didn't hate the film because I've never played the games.
It's nothing the same. It's not even remotely the same. It's,
okay.
It's the games. Well, I haven't played the remake, but the original it's like a forced perspective, like locked camera that kind of swivels a little bit, but you can't move it in 3D. But it's like the old Resident Evil ones, for the most part. But then you've got other bits on like QTEs and stuff, and
okay.
But it's a story as a game more than a game itself. But everyone is great. I mean, you got Remy Malek in it.
Oh, okay.
You got
That's like a hell of a cast for a game, isn't it, Mad?
Yeah, Hayden Panettiere as well.
Yeah.
The guy from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And at the time, massive. It's a great game.
Excellent. Ed, anything else good about the film that you think's worthy of mention?
I felt like all the characters, because they didn't have so many that it became hard to find, I felt that everyone's performances were really good. I liked the fact that it was, despite you had this massive expanding world, we didn't have 15,000 characters to have to remember. You had the guy that you always knew was going to be the baddie. You had his missus that was in the background. You had his guy in the chair, the black guy. And I just thought everyone's performances were really good. It was a bit of a romp, wasn't it? That's what it felt like to me. Like this wasn't boring at any point. You didn't feel the need to second screen it. And in 2026, that's one hell of a compliment for a film from
really
20 odd years ago.
I was surprised to see Neil McDonough in a film and him not be the bad guy. That's the thing that threw me, because he's always the bad guy. So I was a bit shocked at that. But no, you are right. I think everyone gave a really good performance. Max von Sydow was, from the very beginning, obviously going to be the bad guy, wasn't he, though?
Yeah.
That was the only... Yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of that. Ash, anything else good?
I thought I like Colin Farrell playing more the fucking arsehole role. Like, you could tell he was an arsehole, but he wasn't the big bad, but he played it really well. But it's sort of during that time where I think everyone thought Colin Farrell was shit. Because isn't it around Bullseye time?
Yeah.
Whereas this is a good performance. This is.
I think he's kind of admitted that he was a bit of a twat anyway.
Yeah. One of the stories I've got to tell is him being a bit of a twat. I think this is early in his Hollywood phase. I think he blew up quite quickly, if I remember correctly. And I don't think he handled it particularly well, from what I can tell about him. But he has always been a very good actor. But you are right. I remember people, pretty face, no substance was one of the criticisms of him. But actually watching this, I would 100% disagree, because I thought he was very good in this, to the point that he took criticism of mine that he was underused, because I thought he was excellent in this. But I think the way they just sort of used him to uncover the mystery and then just kill him off was such a waste of the character. He ended up becoming a plot point when really I think they could have used him much more effectively. And I know this is based on a book, but from what I can tell, it's based, the idea of pre-crime is taken from the book and very little else. So it's not like the character dies, so he has to die. It just feels like it was such a waste of what they were doing with him, because I think he's very smart. He sees the ethical issues around this. He doesn't trust the other people who run it. So he should be the counterbalance of this film. You've got Tom Cruise, who is 100% pre-crime is the way of the now. This is exactly what we should put everything in. And Colin Farrell sees the bullshit in it all. He's the one who's saying, no, we shouldn't be going for this. So to kill him off and then not have him utilised at the end once everything's been resolved just seems like such a waste. I'm really disappointed with how they did him wrong in this film.
I'd completely forgot about it being killed off. It's been so long, and I've only ever seen it once, and obviously the other incident. But it was I thought, oh wow! And
I jumped. I genuinely jumped. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but it. I know exactly what you're on about, but at the same time, there was impact because you don't expect it.
Yeah,
I think
Carry on, Ed.
Yeah, I think I was surprised by it, which I think is a good thing, because you also think it's Colin Farrell. He probably won't die, so that's another. But that whole last 45 minutes could have been 20. That's my one real takeaway, is how long it took to get to the end.
Yeah.
And I think there was no need for them to explain to us twice how the bad got away with the murder of the precog's mum. We didn't need that twice. Either you do it with Colin Farrell and he gets shot, or you do it with Colin Farrell and then they unravel it at the end. You didn't need both. It really seemed to drag it out. That was my only real criticism of the film from start to finish,
that's a good
really.
point.
Yeah,
I do think that's a good point.
It could have been edited, and you could have cut between him unveiling himself to Colin Farrell. You could have cut an argument between them two, him being shot, and you think, what the fuck's that about? Then go into the future stuff, and then when he's explaining it on the screen, cut back to him arguing with Colin Farrell and doing it that way. That would have been a lot better.
I've said it before. I think I've even said it on this podcast. One of the things I don't like about Steven Spielberg's film is he's a terrible editor of movies. And I feel like that was a problem I had with AI at the time, that it just went on and fucking on, because he just doesn't know where to stop it. And I think this suffers from the same thing, because that third act, it's a mess. It's all over the place. It should be a lot shorter, a lot tighter than it was. And I don't like the epilogue. Once everything's done, the epilogue is that Anderton is now back with his wife, who is pregnant. The precogs have been released. They're all happy on their own little farm in the middle of nowhere. It's all too nice.
Yeah,
and that isn't the world you have set up throughout the rest of this film.
It's the train scene at the end of the Harry Potter films, isn't it? And the books, when all of a sudden it's all worked out perfectly. Well, that's not. It's a dystopian novel that's a dystopian film, and then realistically, all that happens is she's pregnant again, and the twins and the girl are fine. Right? It's not you just spent 2 hours telling us how hard they have it, and they can't stop seeing the future, but they can read a book and play Scrabble or whatever they're doing. It just doesn't fit with what you've told us.
It felt like an audience response pickup.
I fully believe it was Spielberg. We saw Disclosure Day this year. He's the most hopeful motherfucker walking this planet. He just wants everyone to be happy. And I think that's what he put this in here. Because really, once they've made a decision on pre-crime, you've either got to go with pre-crime stays and the people are happy to give up some of their freedoms, or people want their freedom, so you get rid of pre-crime and there is a price to pay. That's the world he has set up. So to choose neither just doesn't work. It's such a disappointing ending for me, that is. Because I love how I feel like this film is such a typically neo-noir style movie. Like, everyone is black and white throughout this movie. Anderton is the victim and he is a perpetrator. Burgess is a visionary, but he's also a monster. Agatha's a miracle, but she's also a horror as well. Pre-crime works, but it takes away free will. And the end, it just balances it. And no, you can't have that balance. It needs to be dishevelled. If you take something away, things don't just automatically balance out. The scales tip. And he doesn't tip the scales. And it's such a fucking letdown of an ending.
I mean, especially when they talked about it, like the death rate and the murder rate before pre-crime. And then you think, well, that's obviously going to go up again now. So, I mean, I don't really have a massive problem with it, because it's a Spielberg film. They're all the same. So you kind of expect it anyway, but it's like, oh yeah, because it's for the family and it's a blockbuster and whatever. Everyone
It'd be interesting
to
to see what the ending of the actual book is, because it can't be that.
I've downloaded it. It's 30 pages long. I haven't had time to read it because I literally bought it yesterday, but I'm quite intrigued. But I think it's a lot more dystopian. It's Philip K. Dick who did Blade Runner. So I'm intrigued to see how it goes. But I think this film could have been an all-timer. I think it's still very good. I think with a better ending, it could have been an all-timer. So does he run? As I said, he barely walks in this film. Does he take his shirt off? Yes, following the eye surgery. Does he wear sunglasses? Yes, following the eye surgery. We get literally both of those within 30 seconds of each other. I couldn't tell you what the glasses were, though, because they're literally there for all of a split second. Explosions.
this is quite an exciting film all round, isn't it? Like, there's a lot of running, jumping around off cars, SWAT-style raids, a few explosions. There's a lot going on here to keep you on your toes throughout this film. And I thought that was really... It made for a very exciting movie throughout most of it. Cruise doing Cruise things. So he brought Spielberg into this movie. He went to him and was like, I want to make this film. You're Steven Spielberg. I want you to make this film with me. Spielberg brought in futurist scientists, tech developers, military strategists, law enforcement experts, and civil liberty scholars. Cruise attended every single session so that he could understand the world that was being built. Spielberg has said that Cruise was deeply involved in shaping how pre-crime worked. It's why the gesture-based interface felt natural, because Cruise designed it. Cruise has also worked with SWAT consultants, federal tactical advisors, and future tech weapons trainers. This is why so much of his movement feels authentic and precise. He also studied child abduction trauma, grief-driven addiction patterns, and the actions of parents of missing children, and how guilt manifests physically.
He went to Portugal, didn't he?
I think they coped quite well, didn't they? That was a problem.
Well,
Yeah, a little too well. So, as I said, he brought Spielberg in. He was very nervous about asking Spielberg to do it because they were close friends, and also Spielberg is one of his filmmaking heroes. So he was nervous about asking him to do the story. Cruise had been looking for an excuse to work with Spielberg for years, so this was considered a dream collaboration for him. And I feel like you can see that in his performance here. I feel like he does give it a lot. And the fact that Wagner Productions, Cruise's production house, they were heavily involved in the development of this film. So it really was just another passion project of Cruise's. He said, I've been wanting to work with him. Who doesn't want to work with Spielberg? I thought he probably won't be interested. And then he called me and said, yes, I want to do this. Cruise has said that Samantha Morton is like lightning in a bottle. When she did one take, Stephen and I went behind the set and gave each other high fives. She was just on fire. Spielberg has said that Cruise brought a deep and meaningful understanding of the film, emphasising how Cruise was part of the design of the film, not just part of the cast. Sam Morton has said that Cruise was kind, he was professional, he had respect, and his focus during the emotional scenes was outstanding. Colin Farrell has given a story. This is at the height of his substance issues. He begged production for a night off so that he could go out partying for his birthday. His call time the day after was 6 a.m. Farrell turned up to set hungover following a night out. He had to deliver one line. I'm sure you've all grasped the fundamental paradox of pre-crime mythology. It took Farrell 46 takes to deliver that one line. Apparently, Tom Cruise was furious about it. But Farrell's admitted, saying that it was one of the worst days that he's ever experienced on set. I suspect it was a low point for him and probably helped him come out of it on the other side. Farrell has also said that Cruise was a gentleman, very serious about his job, and had unreal discipline. He was hyper polite, hyper intense, and hyper prepared. Cruise has said that Farrell was sharp, quick, and exciting to work with. Farrell has a great energy and enjoyed sparring with him. He was all in every day. Spielberg has said that Farrell kept Cruise on his toes and that they had electric chemistry. Completely agree. I would love to see more of those two together because I think they worked really well as a duo on screen. Scientology watch.
Well, before you get to that, there was one other Cruise doing Cruise things which sounded so ridiculous and so unnecessary. That's surely not. But where he's hiding in the bathtub with the spiders in the ice to lower his body temperature, the bubble that gives him away, he learns how to blow individual bubbles. Rather than just CG it in, he said, I can do it myself. So he learns how to do it for one take. For 2 seconds of screen time?
It's a good bubble, though.
Yeah.
Those high-tech spiders that were put off by a rag under a door, by the way.
Yeah. It just adds further weight to Cruise's mentality of, if it's not real, the audience won't believe.
Yeah.
Just mentalist, absolute mentalist. So, by 2002, the illusion of Scientology was getting darker. The desert a compound known as Gold Base went from the secret luxury playground into a high-tech fortress. This was the year that the Rolling Stone magazine dropped the massive piece titled Inside Gold Base, the secret desert fortress controlling the church's celebrity network. For the first time, this is when the general public got to a peek behind the curtain. Rumours exploded about razor wire fencing facing inwards like it was a fucking prison for these people. There were motion sensors, sniper-style watchtowers, and hundreds of Sea Org workers working 100 hours per week for about $50 a week. All to paint walls, groom horses, and maintain Tom's pristine bubble whilst he was out promoting Minority Report. While Tom was on screen playing John Anderton using futuristic pre-crime technology to catch bad guys before they committed a crime, back in California, David Miscavige was using actual pre-crime tactics on his own staff. Anyone he suspected of having a single bad thought about Tom Cruise or the church was immediately locked down, interrogated, or purged. It's deeply creepy. The ultimate sci-fi paranoia movie on screen backed up by high-tech surveillance called off-screen. By 2002, this was also the exact moment the internet officially declared war on Scientology, all thanks to a video footage that was leaked online. It was an internal, highly classified video meant only for hardcore Scientologists. In it, Tom is wearing a black turtleneck, accepting a giant medal from David Miscavige, while literally Mission Impossible theme plays in the background. Tom looks straight into the camera with his intense, unblinking, borderline manic grin and starts ranting about how Scientologists are the only people who can save the world. He says, when you're a Scientologist and you drive by an accident, you know you have to do something about it because you are the only one who can help. He wasn't acting, he genuinely believed he possessed superpowers because he'd reached the top of the pyramid. The leak sent shockwaves through the early internet forums and practically birthed the modern anti-cult internet culture overnight. People couldn't believe what they were seeing with this. It was equal parts hilarious, bizarre and terrifying. So as you watch Tom in Minority Report effortlessly dodging precogs and controlling holographic screens, just remember that in the real world, he was fully swallowed by this delusion. He was standing in a top-secret desert fortress surrounded by razor wire, convinced he was a real-life superhero, whilst the people in the building who were maintaining his lifestyle were sleeping on bunks and earning pennies. It is a deeply, deeply unsatisfying cult, and I don't understand how it is still going the way it is. Just mental. So back to the film. The big three awards. Cumulatively, we were up to 23 wins and 66 nominations for films featuring Tom Cruise, up to and including Vanilla Sky. We have another Oscar nomination for Best Sound Editing, and we've got a BAFTA nomination for Achievement in Visual Effects. It was up against Raimi's Spider-Man, Chamber of Secrets, Gangs of New York, and lost out to The Two Towers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The critical response at the time, it was considered one of Spielberg's best modern films. Cruise is highlighted as a blend of blockbuster action and neo-noir mystery. So critics highlighted that it's a blend of blockbuster action and neo-noir mystery. Many critics said that it was Tom Cruise's best performance since Magnolia. I would probably agree with that. Roger Ebert said that Tom Cruise is convincing as a man who has lost everything. Spielberg has made one of his best films. Peter Travers said that Samantha Morton is extraordinary. She gives the film its soul. Spielberg is in peak form. The modern reassessment, it is frequently listed in the best sci-fi films of the 21st century. It feels so prescient. Predictions about surveillance, targeted advertising, gesture interfaces, predictive policing. Like, if you add this in with Spielberg's 2001 film AI, like, we are living in his reality at this point. The Guardian said that Minority Report now looks like one of Spielberg's most prophetic films. Cruise gives one of his most grounded performances. Vulture says that Samantha Morton's Agatha remains the film's emotional anchor. Spielberg balances spectacle with moral weight better than almost anybody. The budget and box office. The budget was 102 million, which gives us a cumulative total of 834.8 million up to Minority Report. The box office was over 3 times that. It was 358.4 million, which gives us a cumulative total of 3,963.6 million. We are 50 million away from 4 billion in his career at this
I
point.
mean, you can maybe see why he buys into the Scientology stuff, because look at how good his life is.
Yeah.
The success he has.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Because they maintain his life for him. He makes all this money. It must be easy to buy into the delusion when the delusion is, I'm a fucking billionaire and I can do what I want. I get it. Cage or Cruise? Ash.
No, obviously it's Cruise. I don't. As much as there is some sort of chaos that Cage could have brought, I just don't think it works here. It needs that superstar to lead this.
I think I agree. Like, there is 100%, there is a chaos that you could see Cage playing with. I think he would have been decent maybe as Neil McDonough's character. I could maybe see that working a little better. Him in one of the B-level roles. Maybe even as Max von Sydow's character, potentially.
Peter
There is
Stormare.
something there. Yeah. There is something there for Cage, but it's not as John Anderton, because Cruise is the driving force behind this film. It wouldn't work without him.
Not even as Farrell.
No, I agree. Stu, Cage or Cruise?
Yeah, same. It's just Cruise all day long. Just that, especially with all the professionalism and the fact that he was producer as well, by the sounds of it. Cage ain't doing that. I mean, like, when we get to it, I was very surprised how cagey that Spider Noir does get. After the first few episodes, they were relatively sensible. But even now, he couldn't. I don't think he could have played the villain in this. I think it's perfectly cast as it is.
Cool. Ed?
I mean, I don't think it's as black and white for me. I thought the bits around his son, I thought Cage would have nailed that. But you're all right about the fact that the rest of the film, with him driving it and the action scenes and the intensity of that is Cruise all day. But I think the torturedness of what led him to become this cop and losing his son and all that kind of stuff, I think Cage would have nailed that as well. But the rest of it, no. But I think Cage would have been, if Cruise wasn't available, Cage would have been up there for me, I think, with it. But he's not quite the same kind of action star. He probably wouldn't have been as of that seamless romp that we had, I think, because Cage would have inputted too much Cage and not enough plot.
I mean, if you had face-off Cage, that could work. To a degree. I don't think it would have been as good.
No.
But like, I do genuinely think there is he could have done this role. He just wouldn't be, the film wouldn't be quite as good as it actually is. But yeah, I think you make a good point. So Ed, is Cruise the saviour of cinema or just another sinner?
Yeah, he's the saviour. He's the saviour.
Yeah, completely agree. Cruise and Spielberg's just magic. Yeah, saviour. Ash?
Yeah, there's no argument with that. Like, literally in the last two films, he's been just two completely different things, and he's excelled at both.
Yeah. Stu?
No one else is doing this kind of stuff. Not to this level and not to this meta detail. Absolute saviour.
Yeah, excellent. So Stu, if you enjoyed Minority Report, you may also like.
I mean, it's futurist, so I was thinking, oh yeah, but they're all Philip K. Dick, so you kind of expand on it and go with Blade Runner 2049, which is in parts better than the first one, which is a strange, almost heretic thing to say.
It's a good question, that is. Like, I don't disagree, but I don't know if I agree at the same time.
Yeah, that's Blade Runner. If you classify as Blade Runner: The Final Cut as the definitive one. I mean, I watched them back to back, and it was a great experience doing it that way. But I haven't seen either of them for a few years now. So it might be something for the future to look at. But there's stuff in the sequel that's so much better than the first one. But then vice versa as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2049. That's the answer.
That's not a bad shade, to be fair. Ed?
I mean, I think Stu mentioned one of the two that I was going to say earlier, The Fifth Element. I think that's got that futuristic vibe, and and that kind of stuff. And the other one I think I mentioned a month or so ago, The Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman and Will Smith, before Will Smith became iRobot Will Smith, and it all became about quips and how can I make it about me. So I'd go with those two. And at a stretch, potentially Demolition Man. It's a bit older, but you do have that.
I haven't seen that for
similar
years.
vibe. No,
great shout. Excellent. Ash?
I mean, the easiest answer, it's not as good, but Mercy. it literally is the same film,
Yeah.
just more up to date. And it's got Rebecca Ferguson in it, so I can't complain with that, but yeah.
Cool. I'm going to go with Source Code from 2011 by Duncan Jones, David Bowie's son, bit of Jake Gyllenhaal. Good film, that is.
Yes.
One that nobody talks about. I don't know why. It's a great film. Jake Gyllenhaal plays an army guy who gets transported into somebody's body on a train where a bomb is about to go off and he has to stop the bomb. It's kind of time loopy, weirdness.
Loopy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds really good. It's a good premise.
I like Duncan Jones. He started off really hot and then kind of disappeared a little bit into it, because Moon was a really good film. Obviously, Source Code. He did the Warcraft film, but then he did that Mute film, which didn't particularly go down well, and wasn't a great movie. I think it was a Netflix original, wasn't it? That one. Yeah, it was the one with Alexander Skarsgård and Paul Rudd. It wasn't great, and he's never quite come back. But I've just noticed here he did something called Rogue Trooper this year. I've not even heard of this, and it's got 8.3 on IMDb. The 2008 AD thing. Okay, I might have to check that out. I don't even know if it's out yet, because it says Sean Bean, but he doesn't have a character name under it, which usually implies that maybe the film hasn't been released yet.
You'll know he'll die though.
Absolutely. Sean Bean, Hayley Atwell, can't moan about that, Diane Morgan, Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords, Asa Butterfield, Jack Lowden, Matt Berry,
Looks like it's animated.
Good bit. Aid Edmondson's in it. Alice Lowe. This is a fucking tremendous cast. I've never heard of this before. Dave Gibbons, he's the artist of Watchmen, so I'm guessing he must have done some of the writing on whatever this Rogue Trooper is. It says 2000 AD, so I'm guessing it must come from that comic book series. Well, that's exciting. Didn't know about that. Brilliant. Right, so next week, the short film that we'll be looking at is Who Killed Rover from 1930. It is available on YouTube. I'm very fucking excited. This is Stu's shout, so if it goes sideways, it's his fault. But I'm really looking forward to this one. As I said, it is on YouTube. And the Tom Cruise film that we're watching is Austin Powers in Goldmember.
One of my favourites.
I don't know how to feel about it, because I remember not loving that one, but adoring the first two films. So I'm hoping it's not as bad as I remember.
I loved all three. So
yeah,
the second one I think is outstanding. I think that is the best film of the three. I think the second one's brilliant, and not just because I get to perv over Heather Graham for 2 hours. Apparently, they're doing a fourth one of those as well.
Oh God.
I don't know if I like that or not, because I want more Austin Powers, but also I kind of want more Austin Powers and me be 20 years younger to enjoy it. I don't know if I want more Austin Powers in my 40s. It just seems a bit weird. Who?
I think he's dead, isn't he?
Yeah.
With Mini-Me.
Yeah.
Yes, he is, Vern Troyer.
Oh, yeah.
I'd forgot about that. Yes.
Let's get another one. They're fine.
Just grab Peter Dinklage. That's him walking down the street. Just pick him up and grab it. Yeah.
Just
Or
shake
Warwick
it.
Davis, right?
Yeah. I'd forgot about that. But yeah, apparently there is another. And I don't know. Because there's the element, like, obviously because he plays multiple characters, I don't want him to keep doing that, because
he's going to play Mini-Me.
It's too Eddie Murphy, isn't it? And that's the worry.
Yeah, but he doesn't need the money, does he? He's just doing it for a laugh.
Will it be on the back of Shrek? Is that
Potentially.
why?
I suspect that gets him back in the limelight. I mean, he's always been there, but he's done a lot more like cameos and stuff over the last few years. I don't think I've seen a lot of Mike Myers front and centre on a film for like a good sort of decade at this point.
They picked him out in Toronto in the World Cup in the stands.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was there all the time, multiple games. Who's it? Who's that black dwarf? The only one.
The one from
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Me, Myself, and Irene. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
they just do that,
That would be quite funny, wouldn't it?
and not even mention it.
Yeah. I watched Wayne's World about a couple of months back now. It still holds up.
Yeah,
it's still very funny. I do like Mike Myers as much as I don't like Dana Carvey, but I don't know if it's just I just don't like Dana Carvey in anything else that isn't Wayne's World.
Well, because he's in the ultimate Christmas film that you can't accept.
The most annoyed I've been at a character during this podcast. Like, I was so fucking irritating.
I turned that off after 15 minutes.
So
It's a struggle. I
I
like John Lovitz, but that film's dog shit.
Have you seen the Wayne's World Lego set?
No?
It's one of the Lego ideas of the basement. It was.
Oh, shit, I have. Yes. Yeah. I think I supported it on the Lego Ideas website because I would absolutely fucking eat that shit up. That's brilliant. Yeah, all day. Okay, yeah, I've done the short film, and yeah, so Austin Powers in Goldmember is the film for next week for all of 3 seconds. Well, not even 3 seconds, is it? I think we just see his smile, and that's pretty much cruise over and out. Oh, yeah, I'm not happy about that, but never mind. I'm looking forward to the week after, which is going to be The Last Samurai.
Yeah,
because I've not seen that, and like I know that you've sort of spoke it up before, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one, just for something a bit different. Anyway, make sure you've got someone of a podcast that you listen to us on. If you could leave us a review as well, that would really help us out. If you want to get in contact, it's cagefightingpod@gmail.com on the emails, and it's @cagefightingpod on all of the socials. For this week, Ed, would you like to say goodbye?
See you later.
Ash, would you like to say goodbye?
we're all Carabao, baby, and bye-bye.
Stu, would you like to say goodbye?
I'm still looking for Carabao beer. Apparently, it exists.
It's an energy drink, isn't it?
Yeah, but they do Carabao. It was advertised in the final last season. It said Carabao beer around the pitch.
That sounds disgusting.
A beer energy drink.
That sounds horrific.
What more can you want in August?
The shits after having some of that. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that short film. Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me too. And remember, be excellent to each other.